What's going on, Spurs fans? We're here at the Thomas Mack Center at UNLV's campus in Las Vegas to check out the Spurs' first game of NBA Summer League here. Let's go inside and see how they did. In the arena to support the young Spurs were DeJounte Murray, Becky Hammon, and that's Keldon Johnson with his gold medal. Just 2 years ago, he was competing in this same gym at Summer League. As for the Summer Spurs who were on the court this year, Trey Jones made his Summer League debut after missing the first 3 games in Salt Lake City after getting his head bumped, joining Devon Vasel and Josh Primo as the stars of the show here. Unfortunately for Jones, it did look like his first competitive basketball game in a little while, and he turned it over a few times in the early going.
I had to knock some rust off for sure. Haven't been able to play for about a week now. Trying to come back from getting hit in the head or whatever it was. So had to knock some rust off, but I'm just trying to stick with it. Something that the coaches were trying to stay on us about was picking it up on the defensive end. So I'm trying to be the leader for our team. I knew that if I were to pick it up on that end, the other guys would as well.
I thought he did a great job of changing the momentum there in the second half and really turning up the intensity and the physicality on defense. I think that's what got us back into the game. So I'm sure he'll continue to get more in rhythm and better in shape as it is for all these guys if they take some time off or are not able to play.
Jones wound up recovering nicely, driving hard, finding his teammates, and finishing with 16 points and 8 assists in the game.
We want him to be an extension of what Pop wants the guys to do on the floor. We want him to push the tempo on offense and defense. We want him to do what he did in the second half there, where make the guys uncomfortable and then get his teammates involved.
He finds everybody. He gets you going. I think I just want him to be more aggressive too. I think sometimes, he's a pass-first point guard, and sometimes we need him to be, more aggressive. But he had a great game. Like I said, towards the end, he really started getting going, and this is going to be a big summer league for us.
Now, one of the guys who Jones kept hitting over and over again was Josh Primo, who knocked down a couple of catch-and-shoot threes on easy feeds from Jones. Primo played more of a catch-and-shoot role at Alabama, but at Summer League he's been exploring his playmaking ability and been encouraged to do that by the Spurs coaching staff. I quite like the way he changes direction with his crossover dribble. Look at the way that he gets down into his crossovers with his chest forward, and it has a good, unpredictable way of exploding either way out of that crossover. Even though his shots haven't been falling in his first few professional games here, he's a shooter, and combine that with his willing passing and shifty handle, and it makes him a pretty dangerous offensive player. There just aren't too many players on the Spurs who are attempting shots like that right now. Now, obviously the 18-year-old isn't going to be asked to do stuff like this at the highest level immediately, but his ability as a playmaker, even as a secondary playmaker, should be important in his NBA career. Devon Vasel is another guy who's working on that primary ball-handling aspect of his game, and it started out pretty rough in this one.
He missed some shots early, a little out of rhythm as well. He's still trying to kind of evolve into being comfortable handling the ball and pick and roll, doing things off the dribble. And I think he did a good job of getting to the free throw line, getting some defense into offense and getting out in transition, and then he started to see the ball go in. So I think that's a great step for him in terms of, it's not always going to start 3 for 4 or 4 for 5, and then you can have a 20-point game. Sometimes you have to go manufacture them, whether that's defensively or just making some things happen on offense, even if you're not necessarily hitting shots.
I feel like today I kind of just let the game come to me. I feel like the first 2 games in Utah, I kind of tried to force it, and today I kind of let it come. I missed a couple early shots, and towards the end I kind of started getting going, and Trey kind of found me. Mitch was drawing up good plays, and I was able to just start getting going.
Vasel started this game just 1 of 6 from the field, but wound up finishing with 23 points. And that's a real testament to the way that he stuck with it after a couple of really tough misses. The second half surge by both Vasel and Jones helped the Spurs erase a double-digit deficit and go into the last possession down just 2 points. Now, unfortunately for the Summer Spurs, this last possession looked like a lot of Summer League basketball. Nervous, unsure, and it ended with Trey Jones taking a pretty bad shot that he was forced to. Obviously not the result that the Spurs were looking for here today, but at Summer League, the result is far less important than the process. And you've got to hand it to guys like Trey Jones and Devon Vasel for sticking with theirs. Reporting from Las Vegas tonight, I'm Tom Petrini, KENS 5 Sports.